The Drifter scene in the Dark Age, a look at the new Gauntlet Ops raid-like mode, a fly-through of the Haven social hub, and much more. Welcome Guardians, let's take a deeper dive into Destiny Rising. So last week we sort of did a Destiny Rising recap, some of the latest news from tweets, videos, and so on, and we're going to do that again today. Our first tweet brings us to the Wolf character we've seen in various trailers and screenshots. Risen by a wandering ghost, you start your journey in Destiny Rising through the eyes of Wolf, a mysterious new lightbearer who doesn't remember their past or identity, but destined to bring together heroes of different paths. So Wolf is going to be the character everybody starts off as. I'm guessing as you progress a little bit through the game, you'll be able to acquire some of the other playable Guardians and learn some of their stories, but Wolf is sort of the entry point. Pretty much just a blank slate Guardian like you started in Destiny 1, except this one has its own name. We next take a look at Gauntlet Ops, which is sort of like the raid-like mode for this mobile game. Some evils you can't fight alone. To take down formidable foes, the Wolf hunts in a pack. Gather your fire team of 6 and prepare to raid the forces of darkness through the gauntlet of challenges. So here's a look at the image also provided with this text. At the top we see recommended, adventures, the trove, and destination. We also have a couple of different currencies which are to be expected from games like this. I believe NetEase did clarify this gold looking one though, saying something along the lines of you won't have to pay real money to get this Gauntlet Blitz or weapon. I'll put that up on screen what exactly they said. But we have the Gauntlet Ops icon here, which kind of looks like the Monolith and the Witness to me. You then have Gauntlet Blitz and a look at some type of environment, and then Gauntlet Onslaught on the right side. That's currently inaccessible, I'm not sure what kind of mode this is, but all of these are supposed to be similar to raid-like experiences. On the left side you have all, character, challenges, weapon, and artifact. Next up we have one titled Knight, the honorable knight who rallied lightbearers and forged the Iron Lords, founder and protector of Haven. His name was chanted, his story was told, but what was he like in his prime? You'll know him well very soon. Now we know the story of the Iron Lords in current Destiny. 9 of them formed this group, would slay some of those early ruthless warlords, and eventually help build what became the last city. Saladin was a part of them and seems to be the leader, especially in expansions like Rise of Iron. But as far as we know, they all kind of just work together. This alternate timeline though suggests that there was one among them who formed them, this honorable knight and protector of Haven. Speaking of Haven, we also get a closer look at this new social hub and environments found within. Here's the description from the tweet first. Haven is the final safeguard and most critical outpost to what will become the last safe city on Earth. You will meet many allies here, including the lightbearers that run this outpost, the Iron Lords. Here's a fly-through of Haven, then we'll analyze a little closer. So it looks like the Iron Lords will be in charge of this social space. This first image looks very nice color palette wise. It shows us the outskirts of Haven. We got some weapons surrounding this last bastion of humanity and the Traveler in the distance with some rolling hills and mountains to the right side. As we progress further into Haven, things look a little more familiar but in a different design. We have a city square, sort of like a courtyard, where many different characters and NPCs stroll around. We have different vendors like the Elixir one we talked about previously, this female character, a mysterious bar, and the armory. From this image, the text on the back wall caught my eye. Sort of like Destiny 2 has text around the tower showing you which locations are which direction, so does this place. It looks like it says teleportation lab. Maybe this is where you load into current missions and destinations. The armory, the bazaar, and the archive. The next part says the bad old time, which I'm assuming is sort of like a bar or restaurant-like area. I'm not sure exactly what this space entails, but in the background it looks to be some type of bounty boards of sorts. Maybe this is where you take on more secret missions. This is, after all, a location you see the Drifter throughout the trailer. Not sure if you caught that, but yep, the Drifter seems to be in Destiny Rising. And this is a very interesting setting to meet this specific character. The Drifter has appeared in Destiny 2 since Forsaken, but has a really extensive backstory that dates back to the Golden Age. So hopefully this version in Rising is somewhat true to that story. Drifter first rose thanks to his ghost in the Dark Age, but he immediately had a sour taste in his mouth. Instead of doing what I'm sure most Risen did, head toward the Traveler guided by a ghost, Drifter did the complete opposite and went the other way. In the wilds, he would find a village full of starving civilians, and he would do what he could to perform little miracles along the way to produce food in any way possible, still hiding the fact that he was a light bearer. He became involved with the Iron Lords here as they were trying to use the town for bait to take down a ruthless warlord, but in the end the entire village was destroyed. Drifter then ran his own bar at the base of Fellwinter Peak. Lady Aphrodite and warlords battled within and destroyed that too. So we do have some sort of connections here with Destiny Rising, the Dark Age, and the Drifter, and a bar. After the Aphrodite story though, he went on several heists of sorts, successfully stealing supplies in warlord territories. Now that is a main bulk of his Dark Age adventures. More happened in between, of course, there's tons of lore out there, but he then went on to leave Earth after this at the start of the City Age, which led him to that icy planet. So it'll be interesting to see how exactly the Drifter is involved in Destiny Rising. I think the heist aspect of his Dark Age story could be really intriguing. Maybe we find Drifter in this bad old time and go on some rogue missions for him. We know Gambit didn't exist back then, so is Drifter a vendor you'll interact with, or just an NPC that sort of walks around to add some story to the background? I guess we'll see. But anyway, Guardian, that's all we got for today's mini update on Destiny Rising. The closed testing for the game starts soon at the beginning of November, so if you'd like to learn more about the game, the gameplay, and the story, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.